Life must really not be popping on your side for you to be the first here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's just not you.
Singing.
Yeah, no, hi.
I
Kunzima.
didn't say
Miss McQueller.
Yeah, bro. Like I just, can you go robala for like maybe 5 days?
you.
What the fuck?
Oh, I haven't been here for like the longest. Nah.
We kind of told the people we don't fuck with you anymore, sure. Ah, this is awkward.
No, don't say we. Why do you? Where are you speaking French now?
Hey, nigga, you laughed. That's a cosign.
Don't say we. I'm not part of that.
Hey, you laughed. That's a cosign.
But I'm back now. I'm gonna disappear next week and come back 2 weeks later. I feel like that is my new cycle now. This is the
Mm.
new me type of situation.
So we are in a
Mm.
toxic relationship with you. We
Yeah.
just pop up and then disappear.
I just thought I'd try it out, man. Like, cause people are like staying in toxic relationships, so I wanna just get a
But
feeling,
like you are being the toxic one right now. So
Yeah,
what
that yeah,
exactly are you
I want
trying
to
out?
experience being the toxic one.
Yeah, so you should be asking us how we feel about it.
No one cares how you guys feel.
Toxic people don't care. Toxic people don't give a shit.
Yeah, clearly that King
Yeah,
Jong effect is very visible in you right now.
it didn't fully
Yeah.
fair.
And I saw
Mm.
this video of like some woman who was destroying the guy's things, his fridge, his car, his everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was hectic.
The buhlungus don't pale, guys, because wow.
She should take up boxing or. And I heard in some places they have places where you can go pay and smash plates just to get your frustrations off. I don't know whether we have some of that in Zanzi, but if we don't, someone should really do that. Or she should have just challenged him to a boxing match since everyone is doing that now. You know?
I guess.
Yeah, I saw King Manada challenge Big Zulu to a boxing match.
Why is he on a suicide mission or what?
What is your person doing, Tineo?
Like,
What is Makwela doing?
I also don't get it. Like we did not have a family meeting before he did all of these things. So Lin I'm just here like, what the fuck is he doing, really?
Ah, ngofonela baholo le monishe fashe.
Yeah, I
'Cause
feel like that's what we're gonna have to do because wow.
I like this. Like the Pedi people and the Zulu people have had a long-standing beef, so you each have like a prominent representative there, like to help you like settle this once and for all.
Yeah.
but this one is just a losing battle.
Ah,
No,
you
it's
never.
not. It's not. I feel like Munada can. He can literally like destroy Big Zulu. You know, like I just feel like he can do it, bro. Like you
You
know
see
what
how
they say about skinny dudes, eh?
uh,
You know what they say about
wow.
skinny dudes?
you see how Dini's laughing. This is that way she laughed when I said we don't fuck with you anymore. So tell me whether that's not a we. That's a we,
Yeah,
right?
she was also part of the French speaking. I see.
Yeah, that's a cosign right.
Wow.
So who's your money on? Well, Makwela, you don't have a choice. You like,
Yeah,
Obvious.
I
By
mean,
and you
default.
know what they say about skinny guys, right?
What do they
uh,
say about skinny guys?
They have big dicks and big dick energy, and
what
yeah,
the?
They can't even use it. So what's the use there? That's
it's gonna
hard.
come in handy. Like hit him with a dick. I'm sure he's gonna pass out for the rest of his life.
We got guests. We got guests. We got. What's up, Mpho?
Yeah, sure, bro.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, that was a really good timing, sure.
Let's just throw you at the deep end. Who do you have in a boxing match between King Monada and Big Zulu?
The obvious, Maji. Zuli's gonna win.
No, don't say obvious. There's no
Obvious.
there's,
Obvious. One punch from the guy, man, is out.
Munada
like
has strength from Bumma, guys. So he's just gonna get there and dominate. Nah, I have faith in him.
yeah, what make a boss?
Exactly.
Mpho, are you well?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you guys?
Mm,
We good.
we good, we good, we good. To keep it in the realm of music, uh, did anybody watch the AKA Tell All?
I tried to watch the whole thing, but it was just too long and repetitive for me. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Didn't watch it, Maji.
So for me, here's what I wanted to do. Here's what I wanted it to be, not what I wanted to do. Uh, I wanted it to be like they call it a tell all, but like that was like very PR-ish and scripted, you know.
Yes.
Uh, at the same time, I'm torn because I'm like, okay, I understand. You just lost your fiance. You might not necessarily be the AKA I'm accustomed to seeing and hearing, because AKA is like a very, he's not very PC, he's not very, all the interviews we've seen of AKA, they've always been very raw and honest. So for me, this was not that, because like for me, it was like, I felt like, uh, because we held off on talking about this because it's like, okay, let's wait for uh the other side of the story, uh so that we can finally understand what happened. And then like he gets there and he tells us nothing basically. I felt like if his silence made him look guilty, this made him look even guiltier because he left us with even more question marks. Him saying things like, unfortunately she's not here, so like I can't speak for this part or I can't speak for this part, but you were there. He gave like very diplomatic answers, which is not what was needed in that, at this point in time, with everything that's happening and everything that everyone is watched is saying. What was needed, or like, at least this is what I felt like what was needed was, we needed AKA to come and be AKA and say like, this is what it is, this is what happened,
Mm.
because that didn't happen.
I feel like he should have just left the press release as it was because he said whatever was there. He didn't say anything much. There wasn't much to the story because obvious, yes, she's not here to tell her side of the story. That's why you are here. You are alive. You can tell her side of the story, I guess. You know what happened. So why don't you say that? He wasn't saying much. It was just pointless for him to do that. I think
And
Nkeba answered like for the longest time and not say anything. Wait until you feel like you are okay to talk about your side and her side.
I think it was more like, I think that's what he wanted to do, but like, like now with uh him stepping down as like the cruise vodka ambassador, and I'm sure what, like, we want to book you for our festivals and shows, we want to do business
Mm.
with you, like, with you leaving things hanging up in the air, up to public perception, uh it puts us in an awkward position. So I don't think he would have wanted to say anything. but I'm pretty sure Hore, like his team were like, okay, this is affecting business. We know you're in a bad space. Um, but you need to say something.
Mm.
That's how
There
I.
was no need for him. I feel like there wasn't any need for him to say anything now because that looked like you were on a new show and you were there. You auditioned yesterday and they gave you the script. You know what to say. So
Yeah.
it didn't feel real. Like it felt like he's acting something out. Getting on my nerves now. Like I'm very tired of it. That's why even the tell all I could not listen to the whole thing.
So what do you guys foresee happening with this? Like, do we think KKA is cancelled?
Mm-mm.
Not yet. There is still a lot of things that are going on regarding this. There's still a whole lot of speculations and whatnot. So
Moving on to a lighter note.
Gonna start up. We on. We never gonna start up.
Tell us about We On. What is
Yeah.
the inspiration and thinking behind it?
So finally, we're doing an album about Modimolle. It's dropping in October or September between the two, but it's like 70% done in terms of the recording. It's just the last three songs that are left for us to record. So we on within the context of the album, it's us celebrating the new mindset that we have and also the new perception that we have of life. Like we're celebrating the fact that now we see and we're exposed to things that enable us to work on our dreams. So that's why even in the song when it starts it says that back in the system, never a victim, never a victim. I'm acknowledging that I'm still in the system of thought. There are still pieces of system of thought that discouraged a lot of us to not go after our goals. But now that we know what we are, it is easier for us to say, you know what, matter, we're actually on. And that song is just celebrating within the context of the album. It's just like a celebratory song where we are celebrating how we perceive life and how we perceive ourselves.
Like you're saying, the song is about like celebrating a shift in
Our, our
mindset,
mentality. Yeah,
in mentality, or like perspective. Like uh, a lot more young people
for sure.
where we are from uh have like or like have the mentality, have the like I can be more than my environment or where I'm from type of mentality now. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh no, it's yeah. Like I was telling someone that the biggest problem we have is that most of us we guess where we come from, and when you guess where you come from it's hard to see opportunities, and if you don't see opportunities from where you are and where you come from, it will be hard for you to actually exploit anything or take advantage of anything. So we on is us saying, you know what, we are looking at Modimolle differently in contrast to how we saw Modimolle growing up, because at first I used to look at Modimolle as a ceiling, like we don't have the people to buy here, blah blah blah. But now I'm like, no, actually the people are there, the people are educated, the people are aware of things. The only thing that we need to ensure that we create collectively is, it goes back to the conversation we had about industries. Like even now, I'm from like Peter's corner, we are just rapping there, just taking videos, and people came, like a lot of people came and they were just saluting that you guys are actually doing this thing, and to show that people actually do acknowledge what we do. People are just coming through taking pictures and then taking videos, so that shows you that if you change how you see where you are, it will contribute to where you want to go. So we honestly just us celebrating to say mata pumlo listen chiro ne mata re on, like we saw the other side and we realized that no, man, it's actually the same. The only difference is just how we see things. And from how we see things, that will give us an opportunity to create things. Because if you don't see, you can't be. But if you do see, you will be able to create that you envisioned in your mind.
Mm.
So within the context of like the album, that's what the song means. Like if you listen to it without listening to the album, it sounds like a turn-up song where I'm not saying anything. I'm just talking about millions. I'm just talking about black Porsches, a star sport for God, and Dance prophecy, no more poverty, amount own more properties, more offices. Like it sounds as if like yo, you're just rapping about things. But if you listen to the entire album, it will make sense. You say, oh, okay, actually celebrating the fact that we started the album with a sad note because of what we're exposed to in Modimolle as a whole. And then as time goes on, because of growing up and being exposed to people like yourselves, your Dineos, it changes one's perspective about life. And if you change how you see anything, you will change your entire existence.
Um, where do you think like the shift in like mentality happened, or like where it's happening? But you kind of already answered it for me in the line about Centurion. So basically, what you're saying is, uh, like when we travel and we get to experience other places and like different things and different mindsets, uh,
Yeah,
you know, that like sort of changes our own mindsets as well, and be like, okay, like I could actually like do this, or I can be more than this.
for sure. For sure. Like that's why like we're even doing a documentary, like podcast shows, like we're interviewing the mayors, like we're interviewing everyone. Even the documentary, it 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 shows how we saw Modimolle at first and then gradually turns into the positive side to say, oh, okay, actually there's more we can actually do here.
When someone says Modimolle, what's the first thing that pops up in your mind? Because I remember when I went to tertiary and shit, and like you'd make new friends, and like they ask you where you from, and you like, I'm from Modimolle, and they like, oh, you're from that mountain where like people disappear. That's like this thing that opens up to strangers, you know, and like, but like, okay, like the mountain is like probably like the most prominent thing about Modimolle, like to people outside it. Like that's the one thing that they know. And like shout out to Nukumashava for like even enhancing the myth even further. I don't even know if it's a myth or not because I've never been there. But uh yeah, so basically like for you, uh what's your fondest memory of here? And yeah,
Wait, are you asking me?
yes, I'm asking you because you haven't been here in a while, have you?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like for me, because I literally spent most of my life there. Um, when I think of Modimolle, obviously the mountain aside, you know, I just think of a lot of racism. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I feel like if I can use like one word to describe Modimolle, it would be like a community. And I know that does not make sense, but what I mean is that it's such a small place where literally everybody knows everybody. So I
Mm.
just feel we are, ish, help me find the word. It's like we are a close knit community. Like the whole place is just, you know, it's
I
like we are
feel like,
like family of like polyandry and polygamists.
Ah,
and I guess it's not just here, but like I feel uh like you say, close knit, but I'd be more like it's changing, but like we used to be like banded by our stupidity, like by the very unproductive things used to be like the things that like really uh caring. united the people. It's very easy to unite people for something without a cause, or like for something that is hazardous to them and the community, or it was. That has changed. Uh, yeah, people are like, more into like productive things, cultured things, even, where like they come together for like, more positive things. Or maybe it's just me, but that's like an outlook I used to have is like,
Why do you think the behavior changed?
um, we became the grown-ups
But
for
for us
one.
to grow, like what had to take place for one to grow?
Oh, I 100% agree with you. We traveled, we saw our peers do amazing things, and I think like even like in the media space, we see like, like younger kids like becoming successful, like someone like Nasty C who blew up when he was like 18. The same to name musicians, but like there are other people in like different spaces and different industries who are like just as young, doing
Yeah,
amazing things. And I think what has like social media has allowed us to like uh, have like that opportunity to sort of like witness like the mediocre rise and it be like this kid is 17. Oh, okay, like if he's 17 and doing like this amazing thing, like because I think like we low key used to think or like you needed to be a certain age to like attain a certain level of success,
yeah,
because
yeah.
like I think it comes with the whole what you want to be when you grow up type of question.
Yeah.
I think like that should change. We should ask kids rather like, what are you into rather than like ask them what do you want to be when you grow up, because I think that also sort of like messes with the like psyches, like okay, like I can only be this thing once I grow up, like
Mm.
For sure.
especially like in terms of
Yeah.
especially like in terms of like things like in the arts and all that, but like even like you know I think like if you want to be a doctor and you that interested, chances are like you could probably like read certain things and all that like is only expected of you to be read at a certain age or at a certain stage. You could read it. You're not gonna get the qualification, but like I guess you could read it, and have that
For sure.
knowledge and all, you know. So yeah, like I think that's what shifted things, like social media for one, and like us getting to go out into the world. Because I think like a lot more people get the opportunity to like go to school and just experience different environments and different
For sure.
places.
For
And
sure.
like when we come back, it's like uh you know I don't you no longer the person you were when you left. You have a different
For sure.
mindset. You 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 you, you like a different type of vibe, and all that. And you know uh the wise ones look at where they come from as uh this is opportunity rather than like there's no this, there's no that, like, but
Yeah.
because it's not here, I'm gonna create it here.
And
I'm
also,
gonna
I was telling for sure, and I was telling someone that without where you come from, you have to think where you come from because where you come from is responsible for the dreams that you have. If it wasn't for me personally, if it wasn't for Modimolle, I don't think I would have dreamt of wanting to be a writer or a poet or a rapper. Everything that I'm doing now is a result of me having that uniquely life experience that I had with Modimolle growing up. You understand?
yeah.
So a lot of
100.
time, the problem with most of us is that we look at one thing that maybe our place doesn't offer, and then we disregard the importance it had in in contributing to helping our parents raise us, because it's not only our parents that raised us, also our environment and where we come from. For us to have this hunger to say, let us create, let us build institutions, let us create companies that will eradicate poverty at home and also across the continent. Modimolle
Mm,
partly is responsible for us to have that perception. You understand?
mm.
Mm.
And I
So
also
for
feel
me,
like um, coming from a small, well, in small places like Modimolle, influence really goes a long way.
yeah,
Because I'm noticing that like people are like busy in these streets, you know, everybody is just doing things out there, and it's a good thing. It shows that it actually started somewhere, and everyone is just drawing from that same energy and being like, you know what, let me just go for it. I can do it.
for sure, for sure. You know, there's a point where I was saying that Kasu Garlekas, housing our dreams, a cemetery carrying our destinies, while we're still fighting racial inequalities. Like, as much as I'm pointing out the negative side of it, there are also some positivity that we are celebrating in the album. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to make it like a very educational project. You know, I'm trying to be in talks with SGBs to see how we can use the album as part of like curriculum where we're teaching high school kids and also grade sevens.
Like you're saying, or you're trying to make it like a very educational project. So
Yeah,
how do you like sort of bridge the gap? Because like like we are in like this time where like rap music and like turn up music is very dominant.
yeah, for
So
sure.
how do you balance like this insightful content with substance, uh
Yeah, like for sure.
with like yeah, like it's that like how do you sort of like uh how do you get people to listen basically, like because
Yeah,
like
like
I'd like to think that um like you want to speak, especially like because it's hip hop, and like
yeah,
um majority of the people who listen to hip hop are like slightly older than us and like the younger ones. So like how do you make them listen and pay attention to like uh something that is like so heavy of substance?
yeah. You know what? Like before I answer, like we're passing the park in in Mandela one,
Mm.
and we rehearse at the park every day at 5. So usually the kids that are playing soccer, they listen indirectly to the music, and also they are watching the dancers because we are shooting a music on the 5th of June. Like, I'm inviting you guys to come through. I'm gonna send like formal invitation for you guys to come through. Huh? So already they are rapping the song. We get.
Mm.
So I realized that, you know what, we are we are going to give these people this message in with commercial beats, because if if I rap on a beat, on a drill beat, but I'm telling you something of substance, at first you just like bump because of the vibe, but then as time
Mm.
goes on, you actually listen and say, okay, what is he actually saying? Like, look at what Kendrick Lamar did with Good Kid, Mad City. At
Swimming
first,
pools drive. Swimming pools drive.
agreed. At first, it was just, for me, it was a vibe. It was like, wow, this is dope. This guy can rap. And that time was, I think I was in high school, so that time I wasn't really into lyrics. And then as time goes on, I'm like, oh man, this guy's actually telling a story. We're shooting documentary. For every song that we have in the album, there's an episode in the documentary explaining the inspiration behind it. It's like, for instance, there's a song there titled Black Flower. It's like, Black Flower, the world is ours. I'm dripping melanin. Tell all folks that my black skin is gold. It comes from the womb of Eve. That's why I bring so much excellency with steez. Out here we rise like fleas. Out of lightness, my blackness was formed. My black skin is like a referee. So that song talks about like colorism.
Mm.
So in the entire song, we are celebrating our black skin and also giving context into what had transpired in the past. And for them to understand what the song means, at first they're gonna get it, but they're not gonna get it. But as time goes on and they watch the documentary episodes, they will understand that, oh snap, this guy is actually inspiring me to be proud of my skin because black is gold. And without black, there are no other colors that can exist. So the documentary will help in that, in a sense that it will give meaning, and also it will allow the audience to give meaning to the songs and how they relate the songs to their own life. That's why the documentary, before we played anywhere else, we're gonna play it at the stadium, and everyone will be invited for free because we want them to celebrate the album with us and to understand what the project is about. So podcast shows will assist, the documentary will assist, the music videos that we are going to shoot will assist, because every song that we have in there, we have planned to shoot the music video for people to understand what this project is about. For me, I'm humbly saying it, but I feel like it will be one of the greatest pieces to ever come out of Modimolle.
Another thing I noticed is like uh with A Star Is Born, like you didn't really like focus specifically on Modimolle, but it just feels like with this project, like you like specifically like uh zoned in on Modimolle and like said like I'm gonna make like this specific or like people like my target audience or like my main focus, and like that you're not as focused as like like maybe the audience you've built in Pretoria and other places.
No, we are like the reason why I'm here. We just, as part of the plan, like to just take content, like document, because you can't. I can't say an album is about Modimolle and then show people big buildings in the music video. You get it won't be authentic. Like I want you to see when we say Pumulong or one of Midos die and then Wawona Kumabunzi. So we want to shoot everything at home, but we are going to market that side. Even at home, we're still gonna push it the way we are pushing it, but that side, because of it's a bit commercialized. So selling things that side is much faster. Here, it will take time. Yeah, but we are like, I'll say it's like 100% focus, 100% focus. Before, like a Stars Born, we just pushed it that side. We did a lot of shows that side, but now we are going to be doing a lot of shows there, that side, and also here, and also like Mokopane. Like I'm trying to organize like a Stars Born tour. Like Mokopane is included. So with this one, because it's Modimolle, we have to shoot everything at home, and then we'll just push it that side. But that side and this side is equally, we have equally invested our energy. For now, because I'm home and we are recording these videos, I'm ensuring that everywhere I go, we're just like taking a lot of content to show people that this is what Modimolle means to me, and this is how I appreciate Modimolle.
My last question for you,
Yeah.
what are you hoping to achieve with Tales from Modimolle? What are you hoping to get out of it, and what are you hoping we as the people get out of it?
I hope people can get the fact that greatness is not defined by geography. Greatness is not defined by where you come from, but greatness is within you. And if someone from the same place can show greatness through their gift, it means it's possible for all of us to tap into our infinite genius and get those gifts that God had bestowed to our lives. So what I want, all in all, is for them to listen to the project and see a reflection of what they can be, like great individuals, like legends, gold. Because like I don't want to like give it my all in terms of the writing. When I did a Stars Born, I I I I read a lot of reviews and people told me where to focus. That's why the guy the guy who's mastering the entire project is Ron Epidemics. I'm not sure if you know him. Ron worked on Aries' album. He
Okay.
he's the guy responsible for Paradise. He's the guy responsible for Rouge. So I had
Mm.
I took every penny of my savings for this project to say, you know what, if the best quality is in Joburg, we are going to record this thing not in Pretoria but in Johannesburg, because if I'm saying this album is about Modimolle, and I believe so much in what this project can do in terms of elevating people's mindset and edifying their minds and changing their perception in terms of how they see not only Modimolle, but how they see themselves and how they relate themselves to the world of opportunities. Then let us go to Johannesburg and record with the best engineers so that when people listen to it, the quality will be on the same level as an SDC or an Aries. So for me, I will say I would want them to see a reflection of what the album is about, celebrating greatness and excellence.
How about you? What are you hoping to get out of this? Except like
Uh,
money, like you wanna move
yeah,
units, obviously, you know.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Like for me, I'm, yo, Paul, like I've always, you know, man, I used to dream. I used to look at Reggie, see him run in our score, bro. Like, and that will every time I would see the guy run, it used to reflect, and I like it used to inspire me to think more of myself. For me, what I want with this is for the people when they hear me speak, rap, or recite poetry, for them to know that, you know what, man, whatever that guy did, I can actually quadruple my work ethic and be as excellent. Like that's what I want. Like I just want people to just get inspired and study the stories, because like the album, every song covers like a socioeconomic problem that we have: colorism, substance abuse, you know, like GBV. People now are dying in Pumlo because of that. Like it covers every part of problem that we have been blighted with as people of Modimolle. So for me, what I want is for that project to change like how people see themselves. Not to see yourself as a cat, but like a lion, to see that, you know what, man, I don't have anything, but I can make a virtue out of a necessity and I can hustle my way out of my situation and make the best out of creating opportunities for myself. You know, the fact that I have no one helping me out with this thing and I'm just taking risk with any a bit of money that I get, it just shows you that anything is possible. Like even this music video that we're shooting here on the 5th, we are celebrating our culture, and we love celebrating on the 31st, and we are going to create that vibe on the 5th of June to say, let us celebrate where we are and celebrate where we are going. Because a lot of time we fixate our attention on where we are going and we don't look at what we have. And what we have now is health. What we have now is our education. What we have now is our talent and our dreams. So if we don't celebrate that, we are not going to find a way to take advantage of this gift that God had bestowed to our life. So for me, I just want people to just see that they can did if they can just believe in themselves.
No, man, I just love what you're doing, and I feel like you have you. I'm also impressed with like the vision that you have for the album and stuff. I always like it when people like want to accomplish something concrete through their art and they're just not doing it for the money or just doing it for the fame or whatever it is. So keep doing what you're doing. I love it.
No, thanks,
And
Ceci.
I'll be
Thanks a
waiting
lot.
to hear the album.
I'd like to echo what Dino is saying. You know, uh, you have you have a vision, you know,
Yeah,
and like a well thought out concept, you know, and I can't wait to see like how you manifest it, you know, because like the concept is excellent, you know, and the vision is excellent. So basically, the only thing we're waiting on to see is like, you know, um, how you like execute it. When you know someone creates something and like they they explain to you like what they envision for you to see or hear when you listen to it, it like takes
yeah,
on like a total different meaning because it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing there, you know. So
yeah,
it's become more than just like, oh, it's a dope song. So where can people like get uh your single?
We on is available on all digital platforms, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere like digital platforms, iTunes, Apple Music.
You're shooting your music video for We On.
On Saturday, on the 5th of June, we're shooting We On. Main scene will be at Mojave outside. Tlabarna le cricket, dikoloi tla ba di spina. The only thing that people are required to do is just be fresh, because we want to show like that side of Modimolle or
Mm.
accept. It's fun out here. We have beautiful girls, we have handsome guys. We have a lot of people that are celebrating life. So on Saturday we're just gonna celebrate life.
No, I will definitely be there.
It's gonna be a movie, my G.
You guys must not edit me out though. I must be in there.
Nah, man, like you gotta be in there, man. We gotta celebrate legends.
Yeah, definitely, man. No, I'm definitely gonna pull up. Dini, you are just in time for the closing of the show. It's like, these niggas talking about their fucking Modimolle and she left. But it's okay, it's okay. We understand your beef.
I never said that. Those are your words.
No, like we know Bila and Modimolle are like rival towns. We've been, so
I
it's
don't know.
okay.
I don't think about that.
But anyway, because I wanted to ask you this before you ran off. Like now you know, like we are. This is why me and you are like cat and dog. It's like it's a natural thing. So, I wanted to ask you, like, from what you were saying about Modimolle, like whether like you could draw any parallels between Modimolle and Bela.
Yeah, there is a lot. I mean, being from a small town, we all know that everybody knows everybody, and you see what's happening. You see the developments, the growth among young people and some older generations. So, yeah, I can see that.
I really, really enjoyed the conversation.
Likewise,
You
brother,
know,
likewise.
as much as like we were talking about hip hop and music, you know, it like the conversation was like, a lot deeper than like just music. There are like a lot more places that can relate to like what you're trying to do with Tales from Mudimolle. So, I think like someone in another small town in like maybe the Eastern Cape or wherever will be able to listen to this and say like, yeah, like place, but we are facing like the same issues. Um, yeah, and it's just been like a really, really dope conversation. And yeah, like I call myself the collector of great human beings on Instagram because
Sure.
like
Sure.
everyone on the podcast is like, uh, you know, hell bent on doing something amazing and like just carving out, a problem that like hasn't been done like where they from. Like everyone that has come on here as a guest is someone like I went to school with at a certain point in time, or like I grew up seeing at the library. It's like,
Mm.
see, for me, it's like we were kids together. So to see like people like you grew up with, like you used to run around
Sure.
with, or you just went in, even if we weren't friends back then, it's like, to see like what people are becoming and like are attempting to become, that in itself is very inspirational. Because like I've always said, like for me, like my biggest dream is to have like acquaintances and friends who are like all amazing things in the world, and for me to get to say that I went to school with this guy, or like this dude
Mm.
was my, or like I went to church with that person. It of like it's a much more admirable tale when like people from the same place can like become amazing things in the world. That's it from us. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Back in the system, never a victim, never evicted, but the landlord child. a problem, bruh. Late nights, no sleep, like Star Child, I'm a star night, got no pride, got more light, like Phil Knight, I love Nike, and the stars born, we colonize, for real, bruh. Tap black Twitter, I love more fire. Tap black Twitter, I am fire, too precious, never anxious. I score goals like CR7, I'm presidents like CR17. Hello Mandela, what's up in heaven? Black Lives Matter and SARS. Black Porsche for Ox. What else? A star spawn for God. Antanas prophecy. Oh well. No more poverty. I'm my own, more properties, more offices. My vibes so overseas. Shout out to the devil priest. Damn, I'm near love. Feared you dead, bro. We never gonna clean floors. Never. We only evolved, Watch me evolve, bruh. I am a boss, Made 24,000 from CDs, made thousands for my CV. Made thousands from this EP. Shout out to MP with rap LP. All up to SD. All up my man. Life is funny. 1 minute you down, 1 minute you high, 1 minute you die, 1 minute you alive, 1 minute you smile, 1 minute you frown, 1 minute you on, 1 minute you off, 1 minute you RIP. That's life. Mata, grata pomolon, listen churo, no. Mata re on.
Choo. We died from FOMO. Clean it up like Omo. Snapchat, snapback.
Mata, grata pomolon, listen churo, no. Mata re on. I punch lines, you push lines. Yeah. I want dams, I want mics. Yeah. You want tax, you want fame. At what price? Let's go. 1 million, 2 million, 6 million, 60 million. Oh man, I want a billion. I cannot say love. Damn, I'm near love. Fear you dead, bro. We never gonna clean floors. We only evolved, Watch me evolve, bruh. I am a boss, Made 24,000 from CDs, made thousands for my CV. All of my man, life is funny. 1 minute you high, 1 minute you fun, 1 minute you smile, 1 minute you frown, 1 minute you off, 1 minute you on. We on. We never gonna fall, all on go, we never gonna stop,